All right, thank you, and welcome back to another episode of the A1 Hoops. This is our local Carolina version of our interviews here with Sports and Culture Sports Media. I'm your host, Tyler Butler. I am here with the head coach of Johnson C. Smith. Coach, I did not want to mispronounce your first name. How did I pronounce that?
Monterika.
Monterika, I thought so. Monterika Warren. Coach, first, I apologize for all the technical difficulty issues,
Oh, you're
but we're
fine.
good. We're good to go now. How are you today?
I'm doing awesome. Beautiful weather. Kind of went a little crazy today, but feeling good. I'm feeling really good right now. I'm excited.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. Well, we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. I'm gonna start with the first question. I always like to start from the beginning.
Okay.
Was coaching something that you always wanted to do, or was there other dreams of mine growing up?
Um so coaching wasn't always the no. No, I thought I would be a singer or something.
A singer.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so did you used to sing in the choir growing up, or
Chorus, made some music during my high school years. I was just very musically inclined, played the piano. So I don't know why I thought that it wasn't realistic. So I'm not about to sing or anything, but like I thought I would be. Like I thought that would be something that I would pursue growing up. But I fell in love with basketball. And that's why I'm here now.
well, I guess a follow up question to that is singing something that you still do, like away from the team or maybe in the locker room?
Yeah, I do. I do. When my voice is right, like I'm gonna be honest, my voice is still recovering from the season. I still haven't my voice still like if I'm outside playing with my kids or something and I end up screaming, the next day I'm gonna wake up hoarse. So my voice is still recovering right now.
Gotcha. And for those that are listening to me, y'all, if I'm loud, this is my first time without my microphone. I had to do it old school today because of the tech problem, so I apologize. Um, Second question, Coach: who inspired you the most as a child, and what made you like? Who was that made you get into sports?
That's a good question. Um Initially I grew up my brother, my older brother, grew up watching him playing sports and kind of constantly being told by my parents, "Oh no, you can't go outside and play with him," and just wanting to imitate him and compete with him and his friends. And I think just as I grew older, just seeing him encourage me and say like, "Yo, you could play basketball. Like you can do this," and then just watching Kobe Bryant and I really, really looked up to my older brother for a long, long time. Like you couldn't tell me anything bad about my brother. I felt like my bigger brother could do anything. And I think after a while I started, going past him as far as like being serious with basketball and really wanted to pursue it and go to school and actually coach. So now it's kind of like the roles are reversed. He like looks up to me now and he's like so proud of me and he's like, sis, I should have kept it going. I should have stayed locked in like you. I probably would have did some great things. And I believe that to this day. Like if he would have just, stayed focused, he would have did some good stuff. But you know how that goes. But my brother and definitely Kobe Bryant. I'm a big Kobe Bryant fan. And I don't know if I lost you or not, but it's spinning on my end. Uh-oh. I think I lost Tyler, y'all. Think you coming back. Okay, there you go.
There we go. Yeah,
It's
I
back
don't know
out.
what just happened there. Yeah,
Yeah,
something kicked us out, but
I don't know
we're
why.
still going. I'm sorry about that.
No, you're good.
Yeah, lost our viewers. All our viewers jumped off. Um,
Oh, dang.
I know they'll come back on. What made you like get into coaching, and what do you enjoy the most about it?
So, to be honest, I don't like we spoke when we first met. I have a son, older son. I have two sons actually, but my oldest son, I had him pretty early. So after high school, I kind of was like, I have to figure out what I want to do very soon. Um, and I think I've experienced some really good coaches, and just having coaches be very impactful in my life at very pivotal times in my life. Um, it just made me fall in love with wanting to be that person for somebody else. Not really knowing how I was going to do it, but knowing that I loved basketball and I wanted to continue with basketball, but also knowing that, hey, I'm a mom too. How can I make these two work? And I just really, really wanted to be impactful in some kind of way, whether it was, you know, being in sports communication or athletic training. And then I just realized how passionate I was about just the game, like learning the game, teaching the game, helping other people build their confidence, and just being someone's, cheerleader. And I'm like, at that point in my life, I didn't know what I wanted to call it, but I knew I wanted to be impactful. And I just had a lot of my coaches, just always telling me, you'll be a good coach. You'll be a good coach, because I was always willing to put in the extra work, get in the gym, stay and help my coaches, fold clothes, just anything. I just wanted to be around it, and I wanted to be helpful, and I wanted to learn. And that passion just kind of stuck with me. And I'm like, I really want to do this. So I got into the SOU program. And then after entering the SOU program, my eyes just opened up with how many platforms you can reach with basketball. Like just playing this game alone. I was very naive to how far it could take you. I was always taught, like, you play basketball, you're going to go overseas, or you're going to go to the WNBA. Never really about, the networking aspect. And then just going into that program, I was like, this is where I want to be. This is what I want to do. I want to impact young athletes in this way. So that's what made me choose coaching. And here I am. And I feel like I'm barely scratching the surface on what I want to do for, these young women and women in athletics, period. So
Absolutely. And I can already see the impact that you're making at your school. Just
thank you.
from when we met at the MLK tournament, from following you guys throughout the season, definitely can see the impact.
I
Um,
appreciate
I know one of the main aspects of coaching is the relationship that you have with your players, kind of to
that.
follow up. What can sometimes make that relationship difficult for a coach?
Who who's willing to receive it and who isn't? I think that's the most difficult thing that I've encountered. Um, you come in full throttle. You come in saying, "Oh, I'm not going to be this type of coach. I'm going to be this type of coach. I'm going to care about my players so much, and I'm going to be relatable. I'm going to connect, and I'm going to build these big relationships." Um, but a lot of times, what we forget to realize is that some of these kids don't receive and perceive love in relations in the same way that you do. Some of these kids don't realize that me holding you accountable, or me, making sure you're on your P's and Q's, is me caring about you, is me, wanting to build that relationship with you, or that closeness with you. And, holding you to a level where you have to have integrity. You can't just be this person when I'm around, and then when I'm not around, you're a different person. So I think that has been the most challenging thing, because I would think that, as a player, I would always think, I just need a really good, close relationship with my coach. I need to be able to talk to my coach about anything. I want her door or his door to be open. And you do that, and then you got like one or two that's meeting you halfway. And you forget that as a player, you were also that player that was willing to meet your coach halfway. And I'm sitting here like, dang, I figured more players would want to, would want that same relation. But it's like, some of these kids don't even know how to meet you halfway. So that has been the biggest challenge for me, as a head coach, because I find relations really important. I feel like you can't coach a kid without knowing them. But then again, these kids are learning themselves as young adults, and communication, especially in this era, is very difficult.
Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah. In
Kids
the
want to be
social media
nonchalant.
stage,
Man,
nobody
what?
wants to communicate.
No, they want to be nonchalant. You send something in the group chat like, hey, this is what we're doing. This is where we're going to be at. Instead of, back in the day where you would get the okay, coach, or something, it's like a double tap. I'm liking it. And it's like, okay, I know they got it, but you just want that more of that interaction, that more leadership quality. And I can't explain it, but that's been the biggest challenge for me, definitely, because I expected it to be more natural. But
Right.
kids don't want to meet you halfway. They want you to give all of you and then give you inches of them. And it's like, it don't work like that. You're not about to have my cup, pouring, and you sitting here got holes in your cup, and everything I'm pouring into you, you not holding it with substance. You just letting it drain out. So that's a great question, because that's definitely been a challenge. Seriously.
Yeah, because I figured even, me just going out and doing photography and talking to some of the younger athletes, they'll talk to you just like they text. And
Okay.
so it's
Yes.
very quick and short, and sometimes you don't even get the answer that you're looking for,
Uh-huh.
or they may say something in slang that, I mean, I'm not that old, but I don't know what it is, and it
Me neither.
completely throws the whole conversation off.
Me neither. Like
I'm
right
like,
now,
bro, just go get some mom.
if you if you don't know music, if you're not hip with any of the music that's playing right now, it's like
Oh man.
kids think that you just If you don't know about eating hibachi on the 50th floor, you just it's just it's just oh you old, coach, you old. And I'm like, yo, I feel young. I feel so young. And they're like, you old. And I'm
Man,
like, okay, whatever.
I hate that song so much. But see, I can get away with it. You have to know that because that's part of the recruiting. They're gonna ask you about eating hibachi on the 50th floor. You got to know who the rap is. You got to know the next verse because
All
that could
white.
be,
I gotta know what all whites
yeah.
are. I don't know what they are. I know what Hirachis are. I know what
now,
Hirachis are.
now, hold on, coach. As a sneakerhead myself, I come from the Foot Locker era. You have to know what all whites are. That's the essential shoe.
Are they dressy
All
shoes?
no, the Air Force Ones. You know what?
Oh,
Okay, you remember Nelly, the song "Stomping in My Air Force Ones"?
I
All
mean, I
those
know what Air
shoes.
Force Ones are, but I didn't know they
Okay,
were
yeah,
called all whites.
all whites because they all white.
Ladies,
Uh,
I didn't. I really was imagining like Balenciagas or something, like all white
Now
Balenciagas.
kids can't afford them Balenciagas. Maybe maybe kids to go to Alabama and North Carolina,
But he's a
but
rapper. I'm thinking everybody can wear
all white.
all whites. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's the
Air
go-to
Force One.
shoe. That is the go-to shoe, all white Air Force.
Yo,
Unless it's something else. Y'all in the chat room, those that's watching right now, thank you so much for tuning in. If there's another game for all whites, let me know. But when I was in the shoe game selling shoes, they were all white Air Force Ones. So,
I mean,
I'm pretty sure they still consider forces.
well, I need to tap in then, because I definitely thought they were some expensive shoes, like red bottoms or something, like some expensive male shoes that. So yeah, I guess I can be old in
I,
that way because
I tell you what, Coach, one day to help you out with the recruits, I'm gonna give you a list of shoes, the sneaker shoes, the hottest shoes on the market, and the nicknames for them.
okay,
Okay, I got another one right quick. Shoe question: do you know what
okay.
the pandas are?
I know what the pandas are. I
Pandas.
know what those
Okay,
are.
okay,
Yes,
you good.
dunks, the white and black dunks, right?
Yeah, the white and black dunks. Those are the
Okay,
pandas.
see,
All right, that is the go-to shoe right there.
yes.
Oh, Guapo said she thought he said off white. Now, if he said off white, that's a completely different shoe.
Now I'm about to
That's
look
not
up the
all
lyrics.
white.
Let me see.
That's an excellent
Ladies,
point. Yeah. Now, off whites, they're
let's see.
Nikes, but they're made by they're the designer version of Nikes. Those are expensive. And I
Okay,
think he did say that. Now that I think about it, I appreciate that, RJ. I think he did say off. These are off white.
let me see. He said babies. He said, "Oh,
Yeah,
he
he said
did say these off whites." Well, I said
off
off
whites.
white.
Okay.
What's that? What's that?
Okay.
These all off whites. These ain't no Hirachi, so they are expensive shoes.
Right. Right. Okay. All right. So the off whites Off-Whites are Nikes, but they were made by a Louis Vuitton designer named Virgil, who's dead now, unfortunately. Rest in peace, Virgil.
Rest in peace.
But if you ever see shoes that, let's say, for example, Nikes, they're
Okay.
gonna look kind of torn up. They're gonna flip something around. They're almost gonna look worn. They're gonna have the word Nike or Off-White written on the shoe. Those are Off-Whites.
Beats me. I have
Then they're gonna
no
have like a
idea.
they're gonna have like a tag on them too that almost look like a
Let me pull this up. How
yeah.
much are
Google
they?
Off-White. It depends on the shoe. You can get some for 300 up to 3,000 depending on the
Off
Off-White.
white.
Yeah, look up Off-White
Oh,
forces. Yeah, man, this
dang.
this whole this whole interview took a turn.
$650.
Yeah,
Give me the
Off-White. Hey,
Harachis. Let me get the
you heard what
Harachis.
it, you heard what it said. These ain't Harachis.
Let me get the Air Forces, as a matter of fact. Let me get those.
Yeah, the budget we on, coach, we have to stick with Harachis. They're more comfortable anyway.
Okay. And I promise you, when that verse come up, I'm gonna sing it with all my heart, because that's the closest I'm gonna get to them. Okay. That's the closest I'm
Oh,
getting. Okay. So
hey,
off
nah,
white. Got it.
don't even feel bad. I couldn't even told you. I don't even know the rapper name. Like that's how much I don't like the song. My daughter loves it. I sing it just to make fun of it, but I couldn't tell you who it was.
Okay. I like this song. I like this
Oh,
song a
really?
lot. I do. I could probably sing it word for word. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna turn up when that song come on. But that's nor here nor there. Okay. Next.
Yeah, hey, music. Yeah, music takes. That's another interview for another day, boy. I
Okay.
swear. But so I know you have a mass on a serious note. I know you got a massive responsibility to be kind of like the parent of the players when they're away from home. What is that like for you as a head coach?
Again, it kind of goes back to that last question. Some of these kids don't come from families that, you as a head coach, you might have come from. So, having someone that checks up on you, and it's kind of like, hey, kind of into them in their mixture. Um, it just depends. That is it is in my pregame playlist. It's crazy.
And I apologize if you guys hear a little baby in the background. That's my granddaughter just running rabbit all over the place right now.
Yeah.
So,
The granddaughter?
I'm sure the mic granddaughter. Yeah, I'll say that correctly. Yeah, we'll talk about that later too.
Yeah, me and you got to talk about that, Tyler, because you don't look older
I,
than. Come on now. Come on
I'm
now.
old. I'm turning 40 in a couple
No,
of
you're
months.
not, Tyler.
40, yes, ma'am.
Tyler, no, you not.
Yeah, turning
Hey,
40.
you know what they say?
Black don't crack.
It don't. It don't.
See,
It don't.
the secret is I've never drunk and smoked a day in my life, so that helps.
Well, yeah, black don't crack.
But yeah, yeah, I'm a grandpa. That's how I'm running
That's
around.
crazy. That's amazing. Wow. I would have never thought that. But like I said, like these kids, I come from a very loving, supportive, um, check up on you, how you doing type of family. So
Mhm.
that's the only way I know how to be. Um, so it's kind of like you got some that's kind of understand that I'm just checking up on you. I'm just making sure you good, compared to some of them that's kind of like, coach annoying me. Why she bothering me? Why she want to check up? Why she want to be all up in my business? I don't want to be in your business. I just want to make sure you are good, because you are somebody else's child. And when
Right.
you come play for me, I want to be able to say, yeah, your kid is taken care of, to whatever capacity I can take care of them in. But ha- it's a street. You got to meet me. You got to meet me halfway in some kind of way. So um, it's been a lot easier than harder, if that makes sense. Naturally, because that's who I am, it doesn't bother me. And it's okay. I can explain it to them and say, hey, yo, I'm not trying to be in your business, not trying to be in your mixture. I just want to make sure you're good. Um, Mental health is a big thing these days. So, if something
Absolutely.
happens to you, you know, you're in my care. But I tell my players all the time, if y'all going out tonight, if y'all doing something, I said, because I know y'all college kids, be safe. Don't do nothing crazy. And if something comes up, call me or one of your coaches, and we'll come, help you or pick you up. You know what I'm trying. You know what I'm trying to get into.
Right.
Um, because at the end of the day, you're not going to stop a kid from being a kid. You're not going to stop a college student from being a college student. Um, but I let them know you out here acting a fool, and I got to get involved to come pick you up. You got to know the next morning it's going to be some problems. You're going to be held accountable. I'm not going to cuss you out. I'm not going to, belittle you, because you're going to do what you want to do anyways. But if you out here being irresponsible and I got to get involved, you will have to run or you will have to do something, So I never want to give them an excuse to go be a fool, but I always want to give them a safe place that when you make mistakes, you can call me. You can call me. I'm gonna get on you. Maybe not as hard as your parents would be, but I'm gonna get on you. You're gonna run. You're gonna do something. So I think that I'm still trying to figure out how to balance that, because um, again, with trying to get children to meet you halfway, you got to give up yourself a little bit more. And I got to find that
Mm-hmm.
balance where it's like, all right, I can't give you that much access to me as a head coach. Um, I have to create my own boundaries for myself, for my own mental health, and also for my children. I got to be able to come home and pour into mine and make sure they're taken care of, make sure they're good. So it's definitely, it comes natural to me, but again, that meeting me halfway is where the resistance happens, or where you find that struggle. So
I can only imagine. You you brought up a very good point that I really didn't even think about. With the aspect of coaching, you guys are, pouring so much into your student athletes. What's left for your own kids when you get home after practice or a long road trip? I can't imagine what that's like. That's, like, for example, my granddaughter running around, that's an extra type of energy you have to exude.
yes,
So, where does that come from after, such a long 3 game stretch on the road or something?
I'm not gonna lie, this year was very, very, very difficult, simply because I'm like, this is my first year. This requires a lot of my time. It
Hmm.
requires a lot of my attention, because you got to get the wheels turning. So I sacrificed a lot of that mom and fiance and family time trying to get the wheels turning. So um this year was difficult, and there were many nights where I was up late, simply because I'm like, I either gotta finish something, do something, scout, click, recruit, whatever it was, because in this first year, it's kind of like sink or float for me. I felt like, I needed to do something good enough to where they're like, okay, she's 30, but she kind of know what she's doing. She all right. That was my biggest goal for this year. So um my kids and my family kind of had to suffer a little bit, and it sucks because it's my first year. But this next year, now that we have a system in place, and we're establishing culture, some of those things that I spent hours on, or stayed up late, or stayed out late working on, I don't have to do that this year, because it's the blueprint is here. Now it's just adding those extra pieces on. But finding that balance is going to be my next goal for this next season, because I can't miss too many more of my kids' games and all that, because that stuff hurts me as well. It
Hmm.
takes my focus away in practice. I'm in practice and I'm like, dang, my baby got a basketball game. And I'm sitting there checking my phone, like, hey, is he winning? Did he make a shot? Or my little one T-ball game, did he hit the ball? I'm just, and then I'm missing a play in practice. So, or halftime, I'm texting, trying to check up. So you got to find a balance. And I think the greatest coaches do. And I know it doesn't happen overnight, because both things mean a lot to you. Um, just in the moment, what is more established? And in the moment, my family, my kids, their security, a roof over their head, them being fed, those things are established, right? Those things are good. First time head coach, your first year, ooh, all right, this isn't established yet. Do you guys understand? And I think having those transparent conversations with my fiance, and as well as my kids, letting them know, hey, mommy in grind mode right now. This has nothing to do with you. Mommy misses you. I love you. Or, your fiance misses you. I love you. I just need you guys to support a little bit right now and kind of understand, that right now this is taking up a lot of me. And it is demanding. So when I find that balance, I'll let you know. I'll be in off white. I'll be in off whites at that point. Okay? Off whites.
There you go.
And
You
then I'll
gotta
have
get
some
yourself up.
assistants around me. I have a bunch of assistants around me, kind of handling some of that stuff that I got to handle as a first time head coach at an HBCU. So it's like, I'll be
Right.
in off white stand now.
Now, kind of, to stay on the mental part of coaching, like take us through your mind after a tough loss and the season has ended. Like, what's next for you? What are you automatically thinking about? Recruiting your own players now with NIL. What's that next step like?
I was kind of blessed this first season to really have a group that bought into some capacity. So it was kind of like, all right, this has been established. What pieces in this program am I bringing back? Um, and now what pieces do I need to bring in either to increase my level of competition in practice, or to add to my players? And I think that it was really taking a seat back and just saying, have I truly established the culture that I want? In what way can I get that? And I haven't established the culture that I want. And it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time. And I realize now that there are some unspoken things that happen in culture that as a coach, it doesn't matter what I say. You got to be able to have players on the floor in practice that set the tone and that reiterate you in a way where you only have to repeat yourself one time and they get it. Like when you talk about, pace of practice, intensity, competitiveness, engagement, energy, you can't find yourself coaching that every practice. You got to have some players that come in and bring that on a day-to-day basis, and they set the tone and they separate themselves, and either you get with it or you get left behind. And as a coach, you don't even got to say nothing because they're going to soon separate themselves. And I know that for this next season, that's what I have to bring in. I have to bring kids in that are willing to separate themselves, not come in here and play buddy basketball, not come in here and say, oh, you my friend, I don't want to make you look bad, or you're my friend and I know you don't like to go hard in practice, so I'm going to fly under the radar. I don't need nobody coming in flying under the radar. I need you to come in, set the tone, reiterate me, bring energy, be a competitor, and want to win. So that's what I'm thinking about after our last season loss, being thankful for where we are, and realizing that it really is the beginning, because I was only able to recruit 3 kids, played with 12, at one point played with 9. So I'm ready to bring in about 14 kids, 15 kids, and actually build what I'm trying to build, really, really, really create that foundation. I think we have pieces, like a couple bricks, but we don't have a foundation yet. And I'm ready for that this year. So bringing in my kids is a big part of it. It's nothing to my other kids because I'm sure they're watching.
No.
I love y'all. Y'all my
well,
babies, but y'all know yourselves.
you got to keep it 100, Coach.
Hey.
But I know, and I appreciate everybody tuning in. I definitely don't want them to miss out on some of the amazing answers you've been able to give. So I'm going to ask one last question because I know I'm close to 30 minutes, and of course you got to get back to your kids and their personal life as well. So
Okay.
lastly, for those that may be undecided on school to select, let them know why they should come and play for Johnson C. Smith.
You should come play for me because I do believe that with the portal, there is a new era of head coaches that are being established right now. And to be honest, it's exposing, and this is not, and this might be prematurely spoken. I think that the portal is exposing coaches that really care and players that really want to buy into culture. Because if you're a kid that wants to buy into culture, then you know that as a freshman coming in somewhere, you probably won't play. And if you're a coach that really believes in relationships and caring about the student athlete outside of just the basketball, then that's going to show as well. So I feel like I've become a head coach at a very pivotal time for women's basketball and men's basketball, sports in general, because it's either you're going to put your money where your mouth is and be a coach that cares about the person within and truly build those relationships, because kids don't just stick around because of playing time. They stick around because you care about them and they respect what you're trying to do and they understand the vision and you're being transparent and you're communicating and you care about the person within. It's more to it than just the X's and O's. And I think that, me being a coach that embodies that and feels like, hey, you want to be cared about, you want to be taught this game, you want to be valued, you want someone that's going to relate, bring energy, come play for me. Come play for me. I'm going to hold you accountable. You're going to be challenged. But I get it. I get it. And like, I want to have a lot of fun while doing this. I don't want to be at practice bored. I don't want to be at practice feeling like I got to be like this old school coach. Like, I'm a new school coach. So I'm going to have the music playing when you first get in there. We're going to have energy because I want the music playing. I want to listen to get in with me. Like, I want to turn up. I want to get the energy going. I'm willing to meet people on their level. And I think that we're building something new here. We're building something new, and we need kids that want to be a part of something great. And I think that this is a great opportunity for kids, especially with the portal. Come play. Come play. Might as well. Look, either you're going to go somewhere because you want to be in the lights and you sit the bench, or you can come somewhere and get the accolades, get the MVPs, get the defensive player of the year and all that stuff. Come play. Come play. And I'm going to pour into you and I'm going to boost your confidence up. I don't need nobody around me that's turn it up. Bring the confidence. Bring the swag. I'm not about to, it's just not me as a coach. So that's why they need to come play.
We don't need nobody but dogs coming to John C. Smith.
That's the word.
Dogs, man.
Dogs. Be a dog.
Cats, yeah.
Be a dog.
Nothing but dogs. We don't need nobody else stepping foot.
Yeah. If you're gonna come out here acting scared or come out here because some coaches want to break players. Some coaches want, kids come in with a certain level of confidence. And I think when coaches are willing to understand the difference between breaking a player because you want them to learn your system and influencing a player to learn your system will help all coaches. Because you can influence a kid by not breaking them and breaking their confidence and breaking their spirit. Because at one point, what they did well as a high school student or a transfer is what drew you to them in the first place. So you gotta, you gotta still, bring that confidence and teach them, and all that other stuff. I've experienced it, and I don't want to be that coach. I'm not going to be that coach. I need you confident, whether that's learning my system or not, because that will easily, pick itself apart in any ways, because you got to learn the system, whether you're confident or not. I'd rather you be confident learning it. So.
All right. Hey, y'all heard it. Y'all some dogs out there still undecided? We got an HBCU right up the road for you. Everybody here in the 864, South Greenville, Spartanburg, Anderson. John C. Smith got some opportunities.
Okay.
I know you focus on the bigger schools, but if they're not calling, I got a school right here, right up the road. It's going to get you some playing time. But you got to have the mentality to be ready to play, though.
Tune in tomorrow. We got a big announcement tomorrow.
You heard it. Tune in tomorrow.
Gonna release 3 of our new signees.
Make sure I share it too.
Yeah, we're gonna drop that news tomorrow. Big Friday. So I'm excited. It's crazy.
There you go.
And guess what song I'm gonna have planned?
How they can follow you before we get on up out of here.
You can follow me on Instagram at coach_. You want me to put it in the comments? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm gonna post it anyway when I redo the clips. I just wanted you to say it just in case anybody looking right now.
Okay, yeah, you can follow me at Coach on Instagram, Coach_Monterika 24. Monterika is spelled Monterika 24, and on Twitter X, you can follow me at Coach_Monterika, no 24 on that one. So get in with me. Get in with me. We can be, and we eat a lot of hibachi on my team too. We eat a
And,
lot of hibachi.
and those that maybe didn't get to hear it, don't worry. Once we redo the clips and edit this thing out, I'm gonna make sure I have all our social medias listed as well as the school. So I'm definitely gonna have these players come and reach out to you, Coach.
All right, that sounds like a plan. I'm excited for it. We got about 5 more spots we need to fill. So come on.
All right. Well, this has been Coach Warren, Justice Smith University up the road. Thank you so much for joining me, Coach. You have a good
Thank
night.
you, Tyler. I appreciate you.